Hey there internets, I'm Michael and today on Toucan Play That Game we're going to play a game of Bankers and Robbers by Feint Media Games. Here is the table all set up for phase 1 and I will be player 1 and then as player 2 we have player 2, 3 is 3, 4 is 4 and you guessed it, then as player 5 we have Bob. So each of the players has their secret role card already, but just to give you a bit of information as the viewers, I'll let you in on a secret. I'm a banker. And so is player 5. And in the centre here we have the gun and key cards. As player 1 I go first, so I draw a token out of the bag and I get number 4. So I know nothing about player 4. I will give them a gun. And then it's players 2 go and they draw out a token. And they also get a 4. Oh, well, again, player 2 knows nothing about player 4 and doesn't want to risk getting them that close to death. So we'll play it safe and give player 4 a key. Then player 3 reaches in and gets number 5. So again, player 3 has no info about player 5, but I think player 3 is just going to give them a gun. And player 4 gets number 3. Now player 4 knows player 3's role because that's the person to their right. And in knowing their role, they're going to give them a gun. Bob's go, and Bob gets themselves a 5. So they give themselves a key card. That's then the end of the round and we go back to me and I get a 1. I get myself, so I'll give myself a key card. And player 2 gets a 4 again. So player 2 is going to give player 4 a key, I think. And then player 3 draws a 1. So player 3 is going to give player 1, which is me, a gun. Then player 4 draws a 2. So player 4 knows nothing about player 2, but they haven't got anything yet. Play it safe, we'll give them a key. And then Bob. Bob gets a 3. Player 3. They've already got a gun, so we'll give them a key. And that's the end of another round. So one more round before the swap occurs. Okay, my go. And we have a 2. Well, it's going to be a gun because don't know what they are. And I don't want to give them too many of one thing. Player 2 then gets, me. And player 2 is going to give me a gun, which is not very nice of them. Then player 3 draws 5. Let's give 5 another gun. Player 4. And we have a 5. I think player 4 will give player 5 a key. And Bob draws a 2. So Bob will give player 2 a key. And that's the end of the third round. Time for the swap. So as player 1, I pull a number out of the bag and I get number 4. So now everyone shuts their eyes, so the screen will go black as player 4 decides which 2 cards they want to swap. Okay, and then the second person doing a swap will be player 5. So everyone closes their eyes. Okay, and then we get to check what we are. So we're still a banker. Then it's me. I draw a 3, so I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to give them a key, I think. And player 2 draws a 5. They are going to give player 5 a third gun. So they've got 3 guns now, which means they are eliminated from the game. So we reveal their card. They were a banker. And we remove their token from the bag. So, there we go, 5. And we move on to player 3's go. And player 3 will draw, and it's a 1. And player 3 is going to give me a gun. So player 3 has just eliminated me because that's 3 guns, so I'm eliminated from the game. And we reveal that I was also a banker. But player 3 isn't done yet because they have 2 keys. They are going to reveal themselves as a robber. And because player 2 has 2 keys or more, they're choosing to reveal them. So they're both robbers, so that is the end of phase 1. And we move on to phase 2. So we're all set up here for phase 2. We have our 2 eliminated players here just to keep track that 1 and 5 are missing. And we've got our player 2 and 3 are robbers, and player 4 is a banker. And here we have our path to the vault, which will go along here, then back this way, then back this way towards the end. And on the start here we have all the different tokens. Then here we have our deck of move cards and gun cards and our dice. So as player 1 it should be me starting the round, but of course I'm eliminated, so that honour will go to player 2. Now player 2 is going to roll a dice, I think. Yeah, player 2 will roll the dice. So player 2 gets a 3, which is an odd number, so they move 1 space. Player 3 will again roll the dice and gets a 4, an even number, so moves 2 spaces. And then player 4, the banker, is going to draw a move card and gets a move 1 step card. And that's the end of the round. So now we do shooting. Now, the bankers can't shoot any of the robbers because number 4 is the only banker here, and there's no robbers behind them. Whereas number 3 here is ahead of number 4, so the banker number 4 will be shot. And we'll just place this here and we'll get these out of the way. And background to number 2's go. And they really want to move 3 spaces here, so they're going to take the risk. They are going to go for the 3 space move, rolling the dice. So they roll once, they get an odd number. So now they need an odd number to move 3, or they'll move back 1 space, and they get an odd number. So player 2 moves up 3 spaces, jumping over this back to the start spot. And number 3 now really just doesn't want to move 1 or 3, needs to move 2. She's got a 50% chance with the dice. I think the odds are currently in the favour on the dice, so they'll go with the dice. An odd number, so they move 1 space, putting them back to the start. Now the banker is going to take a gamble and once again take a card. And it's a move 1 step card. So they're getting fewer in that deck, and that's once again the end of round. Now this time the banker has a robber behind them, so they will shoot player 3. Player 2 is still ahead of player 4, so we'll shoot player 4. Now if this banker gets shot once more, that will end the game. Because in phase 2, bankers can only take 3 shots, whereas the robbers here can take 6. Because it's kind of expected you'd have more robbers than bankers, but that's not how it's gone this game. Okay, so let's start the round again. We have player 2, and rolled the dice, gets an even number, so moves 2. Then player 3 is going to draw a card and gets a move 2 step card. Player 4 really wants to just move 2, so is going to roll the dice in the hope of getting an even number, and they get a 4. So they move 2. And it's once again end around and time for the shooting, and that's going to end the game because the bankers will shoot number 3, which means number 3 only has 2 shots on them, but the robbers are going to shoot the banker, who's number 4, and that's his 3rd gun, so number 4 is eliminated. Meaning there are only robbers left, and the robbers win the game. The other way that they could have won is if player 2 or player 3 had been the first to reach the end, then the robbers could have won. The only way that this player 4 here could have won as the banker was to either shoot out both the robbers, very unlikely, or get to the end first, and they just didn't manage it. So that was Bankers and Robbers by Feint Media Games. I do hope that you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, and of course if you have, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel, as well as subscribing to the channel and sharing it with your friends and family. And also check us out on social media. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.